Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning still in the US. Uh, this is a special, I think I cut myself shaving. Maneco 64 here, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. I did a video earlier today. The markets were already under pressure back then. I went to play golf today. I'm trying to keep living as normal. It's a beautiful day here, a bit windy, but and cold, but nice day for golf. I've come back. I did have a look during the round on my phone. I saw that Dow was down like 2,000. I saw gold and silver prices are down as well. And it's one of the reasons why I'm doing this live stream. Billy and I, Billy still got his silver, as you can see. If anything, it's not time to panic. If you have precious metals, they're the safest currency that you can have, gold and silver. And paper money, we know historically, its value goes to zero eventually. I see, someone saying rest in peace, Bitcoin. I saw Bitcoin was down quite a bit as well. Not too sure. I have some Bitcoin. I'm not getting rid of it. I see Bitcoin is down 23% at just above 6,000. So right now we've got gold near the lows here, 1573. That's down 3.7%. One thing I like to say though, if you look at the stock market, the Dow is down 8%, S&P is down 7%. The NASDAQ is down 6.3%. So that's how you got to look at it. Yeah, gold and silver are down, but they're still outperforming the stock market. On the year, gold is up still in dollars. I think we closed last year at 15.15. So yeah, so we've got quite a few people here. I usually don't do a live stream during the week, but I thought it would be appropriate for me to make one. If people are concerned, I would say it's not time to panic. I remember in 08, it was the same thing. Gold had gone up in the beginning of 07 when the crisis started. Many people don't realize that the subprime lenders started going under in 07. So gold was just under 600, went up to 1,000. And during the height of the crisis, like we are now, I think we are in the height of the crisis. We can't deny that anymore. Gold dropped from 1,000 to around 680. You could hardly find any gold in London. Well, you could, but the premium was like 10, 20%. So yeah, I wouldn't get rid of my gold. I wouldn't get rid of my silver. I wouldn't get rid of my Bitcoin. I would though, if you can find precious metals at a decent premium, yeah, it's a great opportunity to get into it. What about the stock market? What about people's 401ks, people's SIPs or ISAs in the UK? Yeah, that's getting really, really hammered. That probably, I'm not sure. That's up to the individual to decide what they want to do with that. How old they are, how much time they've got. The younger people are, I guess, the more time they have. But who knows? This is crazy. Yeah, crazy moves. So right now, the Dow is down 1950, 8%. S&P is at 2530, down 7.5%. So let's see if we get some questions here. Yeah, we got quite a few people, 183. Yeah, profound deflation. Yeah, it looks like the ECB didn't change rates, but they've announced some stimulus. I haven't looked into it in detail. Blue Hawaii, cash is king. People have very little of it. What is your wallet? Debt. They can't exist without a credit card. Yeah, I don't have any debt either, Blue Hawaii. I actually went to the bank yesterday to get some paper money, some cash, because I think if we do have, and that's a real possibility. I even spoke about that a few weeks ago, that if things got really bad because of this disease, this crisis, they could even shut everything down. And that's what I spoke about today in my video. You know, the Ice 9 analogy that Jim Rickards uses in his Road to Ruin book. Boeing thought, yeah, I was speaking to a friend yesterday. He said, well, Boeing has gone from 400 to 200. Let's see where it is today. I hadn't looked. I mean, I think the name Boeing, the company, will always probably be a good company to have. So today it's down to 165. It's tempting to buy these stocks that have dropped so much, but I think we need to wait. Yes, Renee, I think it's Ice 9 time. It will be soon. Sorry. Yeah, I just come back from playing golf. That's why it's quite sunny and windy. That's why I'm red. It was a good day. I didn't play too badly. So yeah, Boeing, I mean, probably not time to buy it yet, but it's a good company. It's like the kind of company that probably you want to own for the long term. Jake, hi Jake. People in Hong Kong are buying gold, AU79. That's the number for gold in the periodic table, of course. Hi Gary D, nice to see you. I haven't been on that long, just about 6 minutes. I just thought I'd make a live stream because a lot of people, some people might be concerned. Some of you are not. I'm not concerned. I'm so concerned that I did my video this morning. I actually went to the supermarket really early at 7 to buy some more stuff, and there wasn't many people there. And then I thought, I'm gonna go play golf. I'm not gonna sit at home and worry about things. So get some exercise, some sun. That's good for people as well. Isabella, they're rigging gold and silver like crazy. Probably a bit, Isabella, but I think what we're seeing is what we saw in 08 when at the height of the crisis, gold and silver dropped as well. But afterwards, gold and silver rebounded very sharply, and I think we're going to see the same thing. We need to think of gold and silver as money, as savings, as insurance, and not to worry about these fiat price moves. Yes, maybe if you go out and if you went out and bought a few weeks ago when it was at the high and you put all your fiat into it, yeah, it feels a little bad, but over the long term, it's going to do well. That's why I encourage people to do dollar cost averaging, just like savings, you know, if they can every month a little bit. Picnic, Kitco, Montreal, out of gold, mint. Yeah, I saw one of the dealers here as well, Atkinson's. The other day, I looked at his website, and he said that there would be delay shipping the coins because they don't have any. So there you go. I think, you know, a lot of the move in the price of gold is paper, the futures. I don't think there are people out there selling their physical gold. There might be a few, but if anything, people are buying. So right now we're at 1572. The Dow is now down 2,000 or 8.7%. So yesterday, I guess the Dow closed down more than 20% from the highs, so they consider that a bear market. Then the S&P and NASDAQ hadn't done that, so today they're doing that, of course. So Virachi, how much low do you think gold will go down? Difficult to say. I mean, I think 1560 was an old important resistance. So we could go down there or maybe a little more. But the thing is, do you wait to buy gold at 1,500 and miss the boat, and then gold goes to 3,000, and for $50 you missed getting some gold? Varja thinks gold low is 1390. I don't know what you mean by the low, or you mean where you think that's where it's going. Anything's possible. Anything's possible. Well, gold, all that gold does, Mr. Ed, is give you a stable store of value. Right now, there's very few people like us who understand what gold really is. A lot of the movement in the markets is highly speculative. It's paper gold. If anything, this is a great opportunity for people like us to get some gold. I might think about getting some gold if I can. Hopefully tomorrow or next week. If I I might get some more. Marcin Skavinsky, I wrote a few times. I was waiting for my bars almost a month from quite big Polish company. I got friend working over there. She said they're selling gold like bread for cash in big amounts. Cupid, yeah, I mean, things are not looking good. And the thing about the this debt-based, credit-based system is that we need high asset prices, high paper prices, because they back the credit. So if we continue to see this meltdown in the stock market, I haven't looked at how the corporate bond is doing, but it's probably not doing very well. I've spoken about companies that are rated just above junk. They're potential fallen angels. In 2005, there's only 600 billion worth of debt that could become fallen angels. Now there's 3.5 trillion. So the thing is, we could see in the next few days some pretty bad news out of Wall Street, out of all the big companies, out of the banks. And yeah, this is only Thursday today, so tomorrow is still Friday. This crisis is really moving quickly. Martin JG 100, hard cash is king right now. Maybe, but as I said, gold is still up on the year versus the fiat dollar. We started the year at 15.15. We're at 15.70 right now. Yes, we're down 65. But we saw a couple of weeks ago, gold dropped massively on not last Friday, the Friday before, dropped massively, like from just below 1,700 down to 1,580 or 1,560. That was the low. And then last week, it just rebounded very quickly. So for traders, it's probably not a bad environment. But for people who stack precious metals, you need to hunker down, batten down the hatches. That's what I'm trying to say here. Yeah, I mean, Lynn Gordon saying that the Norwegian krona is so weak. Yeah, we're seeing some big moves in the currencies. For example, the British pound today is down 2%. Cable is down huge, 250 pips. Even the euro is down today, 1.6. So the dollar is doing well. The dollar hadn't been doing well of late. So today it's doing better. But the dollar, yeah, and the dollar is even up against the yen. So the dollar, the Federal Reserve note is doing well today. But yeah, it's as I said, yeah, you need to stick to your precious metals. Jake Jones, our pension is called MFB, Mandatory Provident Fund. It's tied up in HSBC derivatives. Wow. I wouldn't want my pension tied up in HSBC derivatives. Night Owl, can you buy silver on spot price? You need to check the dealer. Different dealers will have different prices. I would probably say that the premium is quite high. I don't think you can buy any silver at spot. You could, I guess, buy representations of silver, ETFs and stuff like that. You can buy it on spot, but then you're not really buying the real, the real silver. You're buying paper. I haven't checked with the dealers, but I would venture to say that the premiums are very high right now to buy physical gold and silver. Silver numismatics are fine. I do have half dollars, or they call them junk silver. Graham Hobbs. Hi, Graham. Yeah, I think Deutsche Bank and all the whole banking system is a total zombie. So Billy, an ounce of gold. He looks sad owning silver. Nah, he's just tired. I ordered quite a bit of food for Billy. So to make sure we have some food reserves for him as well. Who knows? They've locked down Italy. It could spread. And I know it's probably overblown, but what can you do if the politicians are going to do that? It's still going to happen. So you need to be prepared, I think. Expat thoughts on EU travel ban to the US? Actually, I don't think it's a bad idea because there's a lot of cases in the EU. He probably should have done it a lot earlier because the cases in the US are growing. So I think it's weird that he didn't include the UK into that ban. It's probably because of the Schengen Agreement. We're not part of the free movement. It's not because we left the EU, but I think he should have put UK in that ban as well, because a lot of Europeans, they can come to the UK no problem and then travel from the UK maybe to the US, or they could infect people in the UK who are British, and they could go to the US. So thank you for the super chats. OATMMC says, thank you, Mario and Billy. Thank you, Stephen Larson. I understand Treasury bid-ask spreads are abnormally large. Well, that's a sign that the markets are very volatile. It means that the dealers don't want to. They're not safe making a tight bid and offer spread. So that's why they're wide, because the market is moving. That's a sign that there's little liquidity and a lot of volatility. It was interesting yesterday because people also sold treasuries. And I was surprised because the market was down 1,400 points yesterday, the Dow. And I contacted one of my friends in the city, and he said the reason treasuries went down as well, the price and the yield went up, is because a lot of people were selling their treasuries to cover margin in the corporate bond market. Today, treasuries are doing well again. Actually, let's see here. Actually, treasuries have actually come back up. Before I started the live stream, I think the 10-year yield was down 12 basis points. Now it's only down 4. So that means that they're starting to sell treasuries as well. So it looks like very few things are safe. Ultimately, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I've been studying this since 2002, and I'll stick to my guns. You need to have gold and silver. That's simple. Yeah, I went to the bank yesterday, and I did get some cash to keep at home, because if we have a system lockdown, your debit card, electronic card might not work. So I do have some cash, but not that much. It could keep me going for a month or two. So Brian Hill just bought 20 ounces of 90% silver at 1592. Good. I think that's a good thing to do. That's always the best time to buy, is when the markets are down, you know, especially in the long term. James Samuel, so where does the money go when it leaves everybody's 401k? Well, the problem is that this bubble, it's all been created out of thin air. So it goes into thin air. You know, easy come, easy go. That's where it will go. They're not real value. Nine Dow minus 9. You mean the minus 9%? Yeah, right now we're down 2160, 2160. That's quite big. That's I guess now. Yeah, this is. I think this is worse than 1929. In terms of the crash, I can't say what's going to happen in terms of the economy and going forward, but it's not going to be good. Danny, gold is down so much. Well, because there's a lot of people in the markets involved in paper gold. They're highly leveraged. So they sell everything. Even treasuries now are selling off. So people just sell everything, even their paper gold positions. But I don't think it's because people out there who are sound money proponents who stack gold and silver, they're not going out to the jewelers and dealers and selling their gold. I think this happened in 08, but I'm just trying to say that people shouldn't panic about this. It's up to them, of course, to have, if they have gold or not. If they want to get rid of it, go ahead. I always try to think that what's the alternative if I get rid of my gold and silver? Well, it's to have it in fiat money and put it in a bank. Do you really want to have money in the bank right now with what's going on in the markets? No. So that's, hopefully that will help people get a little more reassured. Thank you, Graham Hobbs. Super chat donation 777. Don't forget to support Mario and Billy via the links. This is rare, unbiased info. Mario doesn't sell anything, but he needs to eat. Yeah, I mean, I don't. The only reason I have my promo codes for gold investments or Glint is that people have asked me for it. And it's up to them to decide whether they want to use those services as well. I always say check other dealers for better prices. Baudel, any signs of major companies or banks going under? Well, not right now, but I think if this continues over the next week or two, we probably will have. I noticed that the big thing now to do, Mnuchin was talking about it, is to give guaranteed loans to these failing companies. So they can't say that they bail them out. And I think the ECB is trying to do that. Hopefully people will wake up to that and not allow that to happen, because why should big multinationals who make billions a year, who pay their CEOs millions, why should they be bailed out by you and I, by the general public? I think it's outrageous. Let's hope it doesn't happen, but it probably will. George Cranston, none of these viruses have been proven to exist. This is the flu. It's not contagious. It's a psyop. You could be right, George, and many people probably agree with you, but be as it may, we have to look at what's happening in the markets, in the economy, with the politicians, what they're doing, governments are doing, banning people from traveling, locking them down, locking down whole countries. It could all be a psyop, but we still have to live through it and try to get on the other, to the other side, and safely, not panic. That's the most important thing I would say today, is not to panic, just to, not let it affect you. Vention Migto, hi Vention, nice to see you. Time to order some sprouting seeds and brush up on wild edibles. Time may come when salad is hard to find. You could be right. IMF, International Mafia Fund, I agree. Norwegian krona is down 20% to the pound. Yeah, I think it's probably because you guys depend on oil so much. The oil is a big part of the Norwegian economy. Not surprised to see the krona go down. Thank you, Danny Harumata. Thank you. Jake Jones says Hong Kong government is dropping helicopter money and forgiving salary taxes. Well, I guess it's a good thing they don't tax you, but I'm not too sure whether helicopter money works. It's not earned wealth, really, but anyway. Yeah, Jim Diggs, it is happening way faster than anyone thought. I think it's because it was such a huge bubble. It was blown so much out of proportion. It has been blown so much out of proportion the last 11 years that it was bound to unravel so quickly. Yeah. Steph Boer by GLD call. Probably. I mean, I've traded a few options in the last few weeks. One thing I would say, make sure that you can access your brokerage account when you do that. You might put a trade on the GLD call, and you might do well, and then you go and call the broker and the system's frozen. Yeah, if you're a trader, yeah, but sorry, most of the viewers here are trying to save in gold and silver. I actually recommend more precious metals, physical stuff, but yeah, GLD calls could be a good strategy. Way out of the money with a bit of time. Where's the Dow? Let's have a look. We're at 21,500, down 2,000 exactly right now, just over 2,000, the Dow. Let's have a look at the bond market, because the bond market is getting quite interesting. Before I started this live stream, I had a look at the 10-year yield, and it was down 12 basis points. So the bond market had regained all the losses it made yesterday, but now we're only down 3.5 basis points. So it looks like they're even selling treasuries right now. And that's a sign that everyone's kind of panicking. They're not even holding on to treasuries. Jim Diggs, Trump is talking, saying how the U.S. is in great shape. Well, I have to say he's got his head in the sand. Even before this crisis started, things were slowing down. U.S. GDP was only growing at 2%. Budget deficit, I saw, I think it grew by 625 billion. It just came out yesterday in the first 5 months. Can you imagine how bigger that's going to get? And I think a lot of you are talking about helicopter money. I think that's gonna come, and that's gonna make precious metals be even more important to have. And the way to think about it as well is that you have it as money and savings, and you only get rid of it when you need it. So you shouldn't be concerned about these wild moves in the markets. Lord Humongous thinks there's going to be food riots in the US. It's possible, especially in the big metropolitan centers. Jim Watari, thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I appreciate that, Jim. Bitcoin finished? No, I don't think Bitcoin's finished. I mean, I think if anything, if you're into cryptocurrencies, it's probably a good day to buy. When can you buy cryptocurrencies with a 22% or 30% discount in one day? So it's better to buy low than to buy high. Same thing with precious metals today. But the stock market, I still think the stock market is going to deflate even more. So I listened to an interview in King World News about a week ago. There's a guy there called Michael Oliver, and he was very good, a highly technical guy. And he said that if the S&P didn't hold 3,090, he said he could see it go very quickly down to around 2,000. So we might still have a long way to go. The initial crash in 1929 took about 6 weeks, and the Dow dropped by 49%. And I think yesterday Goldman Sachs was saying that we could drop another 15%. RAFT, America's finish and its fake currency. I'm not sure. You know, I remember in the late 70s when the dollar wasn't doing well, there was stagflation. Everyone was saying that America was finished. I don't think Americans are going to go down that easily. Yeah, maybe the Federal Reserve note and the credit system and this fake currency are going to be gone. But if anything, not just Americans, everyone around the world, if we're rid of this fiat debt money system, everyone could do great, even America. So I'm not that negative. I think every country, every nation could do well, even better. It's probably a good thing that this system, implodes. You're welcome, Jake Jones. Thank you for following the channel. Trump says markets will bounce back in a big way. Well, I remember about a week ago, he said people should be buying on dips. He could be right, but this is quite a big crash, I would say. I think in 1929, the Dow went to almost 400. I think it was 386. Then it dropped to like 40 in the early 30s. And do you know how long it took? I think it was only in the 1960s that the Dow actually regained the top from 1929. So it took like a generation. Look at Japan. The Nikkei topped just below 40,000 in the end of 1989. And here we are in 2020, and we've never seen that high again. I think this is what's happening here in the stock market in the US. He could be right. We could see a rebound, but it's going to be short-lived. And I don't think we'll ever see. Not sure if we'll be able to see Dow 30,000 again. Who knows? But if we do see that, it would be with a lot with devalued Federal Reserve notes, of course. Yeah, Billy, he's got his silver. So yeah, this morning I actually got up during the night. I had a look at the markets and I saw that the I think it was down like 600, 700, the Dow, and I thought, well, something must have happened. And I looked at the news, and it was the news of the blocking, stopping EU citizens coming to the U.S. So I did my video really early today, before 7 a.m. And why did I do that? Well, because I wanted to do it early and then also go to the shops, to the local ASDA, the big supermarket. And I got there when it opened at 7 o'clock to buy a few supplies. I'm not panicking, but the thing is, if people are panicking and buying everything, you need to be prepared. Steve Hall says Trump has betrayed us. Well, I remember listening to his campaign speeches in 2016, and all the things he said sounded really good. I thought, wow, this guy's for real. We're gonna lock her up. We're gonna drain the swamp. And he's done nothing of that. And if anything, he's like pandering to Wall Street, to the Federal Reserve. Like Greg Manorino said, he could sign an executive order and ostracize the Federal Reserve, do something like that. Will he? I don't think so. Yeah, Wisdom 420. I've got some old Reichmark's notes as well. They're not worth much. It's just a collectible. Stav Woodcutter, 20,000 U.S. troops with other NATO kickoff exercise. Defender Europe anytime soon. Not sure dates precisely. Trump reelected. Well, that's the other thing. There might not even be an election if there's a emergency or, if the U.S. is put on a lockdown. Oh, the other interesting thing I noticed is that this travel ban on the EU takes effect tomorrow, Friday. And guess what date is tomorrow? Friday the 13th. Unlucky for some, right? Yeah, Alice Photo, Gerald Celente, The Greatest Depression. Yeah, I like Gerald Celente. My wife listens to him a lot, more than I do. And he did say, I remember years ago, he said that people should live in smaller communities. I think it was over 10 years ago. And I think he's being proven right, because where do you want to be in such a scenario as we're experiencing, in the middle of Milan in Italy, or out in Sicily in the countryside? Probably in Sicily in the countryside. And if it comes to the US, you don't want to be in the big cities, do you? Yeah, Peter, the dollar is doing well today. It doesn't mean to say that it will keep doing well. I think there's a lot of volatility right now. Yeah, Jetty Mac, I saw one of his videos, Cliff Hyde, the other day, and he is taking it seriously, unlike Jay Snip 4, who thinks it's overdone. Hi, Renee. Yeah, I am getting more followers now, which is good. The other thing, my subscribers have grown, but I'm getting more and more views. I think it's more important to get more views. Yeah, having a lot of subscribers is nice, but I'd rather get more views per video. Snippy is silly. Tracy says Trump's voice was weak during his address to the nation And he looked really nervous. Actions are worth 1,000 words. He definitely knows something that he doesn't want the public to know. Gold silver ratio is 101 to 1. Let's have a look at the bond market. I think that's important as well. Yeah, the 30-year bond right now, the yield on that is up almost 4 basis points. So, and the 10-year yield is only down 3. It was down 12 earlier, so that means bond prices are falling. I think that could be huge if we start seeing the stock market continue to move lower, and then the stock and also the bond markets falling, not yields, but yields going up for treasuries. That could be quite well, even worse. I think we could safely say now that everything's hit the proverbial fan, I guess. So right now the Dow is down 2,200, almost down 10%. Gold traded down to 1560, which was the low a couple of weeks ago when we had that big massive drop, and we're now at 1571. As I said, we shouldn't be too concerned about the fiat price as long as you're not trading. As long as you didn't go long gold futures yesterday, you shouldn't be worried. The British pound here for my UK viewers is getting hammered. It's down 2.5% versus the dollar. So, so I'm gonna call it a day right now. I guess 41 minutes, not bad. I just wanted to talk to you guys to say that I'm here. I haven't disappeared, and that I'm not concerned. I'm not panicking. I think people should live their lives as normally as possible. Do I believe in all the stuff that's going on, in Italy or other countries? Well, it's not a matter of believing. It's a matter of what the governments are doing, and unfortunately, I don't think it's going to get easier. But yeah, we just have to stick to it, and it's nice to be able to talk to you guys because it's over the internet. So I wish you all a great rest of the day, and I will talk to you tomorrow morning. Billy and I say farewell.